And frankly, representative, your constituents might appreciate a more, shall we say, focused approach than philosophical detours. The air crackles. Anya Sharma blinks slowly, once. Her microphone is still live. The faint red light glows. Senator Thorne leans back, a picture of practiced ease, fingertips steepled. Smug satisfaction leaks from the corners of his smile. He thinks he's landed a blow, a gentle redirect wrapped in senatorial concern. The gallery titters softly, a few coughs, the shuffling of papers. Anya adjusts the microphone slightly, not closer, just adjusts it. A small, deliberate movement. Her eyes haven't left his. They're locked on him, dark, steady, unblinking now. He expected a quick defense, a flustered explanation, maybe even an apology for taking up time. He gets silence instead. A thick, weighted silence that starts to press down on the room. The titters die, the shuffling stops. He clears his throat, the sound is too loud. Still she waits, lets his words hang there, philosophical detours, focused approach. Lets the implications sink in, the condescension. His smile tightens, just a fraction. She finally leans forward, not aggressively, just enough. Her voice, when it comes, is quiet, calm, almost conversational. My constituents, Senator, sent me here because they appreciate understanding the philosophy behind the laws that govern their lives. Not just the fine print. Not just the procedural hurdles you seem so fond of erecting. They value substance. Thorne's posture stiffens, the steeple collapses, his hands flatten on the polished wood. He forces a chuckle, it sounds like rocks grinding. Well, I'm sure they do, representative, but the clock, as they say, is ticking. We have other witnesses. He gestures vaguely towards the side, a dismissal. Anya doesn't look away, doesn't acknowledge the gesture. The clock ticks for everyone, Senator, including those waiting for this committee to address the actual impact of its decisions. Not just the speed at which we can dispense with them. A low murmur ripples through the audience, different this time, not amusement. Interest, maybe tension. Thorne grips the edge of the dais, his knuckles are white. He thought this would be easy. Another freshman representative he could gently patronize into irrelevance for the day. He miscalculated. This silence she wields, it's different, it's heavy. It's not deference, it's assessment. She's watching him, gauging his reaction. And the room is watching her watch him. The power dynamic flickers, undulates. He leans into his microphone, regaining his senatorial baritone. The committee thanks the representative for her passion. We will take her points under advisement. Now moving on. Anya raises a single finger, not sharply, just raises it. A small gesture, but it halts him mid-sentence. A gasp, sharp and audible, from somewhere in the gallery. He stares at her finger, then at her face, disbelief warring with irritation. She hasn't raised her voice, hasn't interrupted technically. But she has stopped him, cold. Senator, she says, her voice still even, perhaps even softer. Before you move on, let's be clear about what just happened. You didn't like the direction of my questioning. It made you uncomfortable. So you attempted to frame my concerns as unfocused, as philosophical, as a waste of time. You patronized me. And by extension, you patronized my constituents. His face flushes, a deep, angry red creeping up his neck. Now, Representative Sharma. No. The word drops into the room like a stone, quiet, absolute. No, Senator, I will not be dismissed. And I will not have the people I represent dismissed. My questions were pointed. They were relevant. They dealt directly with the inequitable application of the proposed funding structures. Structures your subcommittee drafted. Silence, absolute ringing silence. You could hear a pin drop. No, you could hear the blood pumping in Thorne's temples. He looks trapped. His usual tools, the gavel, the rules of order, the condescending charm, they aren't working. She met his veiled dismissals with direct, unvarnished truth. And she's done it without yelling, without theatrics. Just quiet, relentless precision. He opens his mouth, closes it, swallows hard. The audience is leaning forward, every eye is on them. This isn't just a hearing anymore. It's a reckoning, tiny perhaps, but undeniable. She holds his gaze for another long moment. Then slowly, deliberately, she lowers her finger. She sits back slightly, a subtle shift, ceding the floor but on her terms. The air remains thick with unspoken challenge. Thorne looks down at his papers, shuffles them, avoids looking up. He clears his throat again. The sound is rough. The committee recognizes the representative. Please proceed with your relevant question. The word relevant still carries a barb, but it's weaker now, defensive. Anya gives a small, almost imperceptible nod. Thank you, Senator. She turns back to the witness, ignores Thorne completely now. Her focus is absolute. Her voice regains its questioning tone, sharp and specific. But everyone in the room knows what they just saw. The ground has shifted, and Senator Thorne knows it too. He sits straighter, but the ease is gone, replaced by a brittle formality. The charm is cracked, and the hearing continues, but everything feels different. The remaining questions from Anya land with more weight. Other committee members seem hesitant to interrupt her now. Thorne interjects less. When he does, his tone is clipped, careful. He keeps shooting glances her way, quick, assessing glances. She never meets them. Her attention is solely on the proceedings, on the substance she insisted upon. It's a masterclass in controlled fire. She didn't raise her voice, didn't bang the table. She simply refused to absorb the disrespect. Refused to be managed. Refused to shrink. And in doing so, she expanded, filled the space Thorne tried to diminish her in. He tried to make her small talk. She insisted on big ideas. He tried to make it about her perceived lack of focus. She made it about his discomfort with accountability. The shift is palpable. You can almost taste the change in the air. Later, Anya remembers her first campaign. The whispers, too young, too inexperienced, too much. Not the right kind of candidate for this district. Code for something else always. She remembers shaking hands, thousands of them, looking people in the eye. Hearing their stories, their frustrations with being ignored, patronized. Dismissed as philosophical detours by people in rooms like this. That memory fuels the calm. It anchors the resolve. This isn't just about her, it never was. It's about that promise, to bring their voices, their substance into these halls. Thorne tries again later, a different angle, procedure. Representative Sharma, the rules of this committee are clear regarding the scope of questioning for this particular witness. He holds up a bound copy, like a shield. Anya looks at the book, then back at him. Are you suggesting my question about the documented disparities in resource allocation under the previous pilot program is outside the scope of evaluating the new proposed funding, Senator? Her tone is genuinely curious, almost helpful. Thorne hesitates. It's a logical question, clearly relevant. He glances at his staff seated behind him. They look uneasy. Well, the parameters. We need to remain focused on the text of the legislation itself, not past grievances. Past grievances. Anya repeats the phrase slowly, letting it land. Senator, are you referring to documented evidence of systemic bias as past grievances? The murmur in the gallery is louder now, a definite buzz. Thorne's face tightens. He knows he stepped in it. That is not what I... Then perhaps you could clarify, Senator. She waits poised, patient. What exactly did you mean? He glares at her, trapped again, cornered by her calm, relentless logic. He waves a hand dismissively. The gesture is jerky, lacks conviction. Proceed with your question, Representative. Just be mindful of the time. It's a retreat, a clear one. He sounds tired now. The fight is draining him. Anya nods again, that small, precise movement. Always mindful of the time, Senator, especially the time of the people waiting for fair treatment. Another ripple through the audience, this time a few stifled laughs, not at her, at him. His authority is eroding, live, in front of everyone. Because he prioritized ego over substance, control over truth. And she simply refused to play along. She finishes her line of questioning. Her points are sharp, data-driven, undeniable. She thanks the witness, leans back. Thorne quickly moves to the next committee member, his voice overly brisk. But the energy stays with Anya. People in the gallery keep looking at her, whispering. Some are nodding, some look stunned. She sits quietly, making notes, composed. But there's a new awareness in her posture, a quiet confidence. She didn't come here for a fight, but she didn't shrink from one when it was brought to her doorstep, wrapped in procedural BS and a condescending smile. The hearing drags on. Other senators ask questions, witnesses drone. But the tension remains, centered around that one exchange. Thorne tries to reassert his dominance subtly, cutting off another junior member a little too sharply, making a joke that falls flat. It doesn't work. The room isn't with him anymore. They saw the mask slip. They saw the vulnerability beneath the bluster. And they saw the quiet strength that exposed it. Anya feels the shift. It's not triumph, it's validation. Validation that speaking truth, even quietly, can resonate louder than performative authority. She remembers her grandmother, a woman who faced down far worse with quiet dignity, never raised her voice, but her presence, unshakable. You don't have to shout to be heard, Anya dear, she'd say. Just have to mean what you say, and say it plain. Anya takes a slow, quiet breath, feels that legacy settle in her shoulders. The weight of it, the strength of it. The hearing finally adjourns. Thorne bangs the gavel with unnecessary force. He practically flees the dais, doesn't make eye contact with anyone, especially not Anya. She gathers her papers slowly, methodically. Staffers approach her, tentatively at first, then more confidently. Good job, Representative. Really good job. Thank you for asking those questions. Someone needed to. She nods, offers a small, genuine smile, appreciates the support. But her focus is elsewhere, on the larger context. This wasn't just about one senator, one hearing. It was about the pattern, the casual dismissals, the power plays disguised as procedure. The way certain voices are consistently minimized. As she walks out, the hallway is buzzing, reporters cluster, microphones appear. Representative Sharma, a comment. What happened in there with Senator Thorne? Did you feel he was trying to silence you? She pauses, looks at the eager faces, the flashing cameras. She could lean into it, give them the soundbite they crave, fan the flames. But that's not her way. That's Thorne's way, performative conflict. She takes a breath, thinks of her grandmother, say it plain. I believe my questions were relevant. I believe the issues facing my constituents deserve substantive discussion. And I intend to continue ensuring they receive it. Her voice is calm, measured, no anger, no accusation, just fact. But Senator Thorne seemed quite upset. Someone shouts. She offers a small, almost enigmatic smile. You'd have to ask the senator about his feelings. I was focused on the work. And with that, she nods politely and walks away, leaving them wanting more. Leaving the confrontation itself to speak for itself. She doesn't need to amplify it. Its power lies in its quiet clarity. The clip appears online within the hour. Just the core exchange. Thorne's condescending remark, Anya's long pause, her quiet, devastating response, his flustered retreat. It's raw, unfiltered, no commentary needed. The title on the first upload is simple. Rep Sharma versus Sen Thorne on committee rules. It starts slow, a few retweets, likes. Then someone isolates the key moment. Thorne saying philosophical detours, Anya's pause and her line, my constituents sent me here because they appreciate understanding the philosophy behind the laws. That part goes nuclear. Quiet strength, Senate showdown, Anya Sharma, Thorne flustered. The hashtags explode on X. TikToks appear, duets, stitches, people reacting in real time. Gasps, wide eyes, slow claps starting in living rooms. Yes, Queen. Finally, someone said it. The way she just WAITED, iconic. He crumbled, absolutely crumbled. The comment sections are wild, debates erupt. He was just trying to keep order, she was grandstanding. Are you kidding? He was condescending AF, she handled it perfectly. That wasn't procedure, that was fragile male ego. The initial news reports are cautious. C-SPAN footage highlights the exchange, Political blogs analyze the power dynamics. By evening, it's leading cable news segments. A freshman representative takes on a Senate stalwart. A masterclass in navigating condescension. Did Senator Thorne cross a line? Thorne's office issues a statement. Predictable, misconstrued, taken out of context, committed to respectful discourse. Standard damage control. Nobody buys it. The video doesn't lie. The body language, the tone, the palpable shift in the room. Anya's office is inundated. Calls, emails, messages of support flooding in. From her district, from across the country, from people who felt seen in that moment. People tired of being dismissed, patronized, told their concerns are philosophical detours. She reads a few emails, one from a young woman, a student. Watching you today made me feel like I could finally speak up in my seminar class. Thank you. Another from an older man. Reminded me of my late wife. She never took nonsense from anyone either. Stay strong. These hit harder than the headlines. This is the substance, the why. Morning shows pick it up. Panel discussions dissecting the moment. Pundits weigh in. Some praise her poise, others caution against making enemies. As if Thorne hadn't already defined the terms of engagement. Podcasters dedicate entire episodes. The Art of the Pause, how Anya Sharma won the Senate. Thorne's Terrible Tuesday, a breakdown. Why Sharma's approach is resonating. The narrative solidifies. She wasn't aggressive, she was assertive, she wasn't emotional, she was precise, she didn't yell, she didn't need to. Her power came from her refusal to shrink, her insistence on substance, her quiet command of the truth. Thorne lays low, cancels a scheduled press conference, skips a fundraising dinner. The narrative is running away from him. He can't control this. His usual allies offer lukewarm defenses. Privately, they're probably cringing, or maybe even impressed grudgingly. Anya attends her next committee meeting a few days later. Different committee, different chair. But the atmosphere is different. There's a subtle deference, more eye contact, fewer interruptions across the board. Word has gotten around. Don't mistake quiet for weakness. Don't mistake politeness for passivity. She asks her questions, makes her points. Same calm demeanor, same sharp focus. No one calls her contributions philosophical detours. No one suggests she isn't focused. The viral moment wasn't just a moment. It was a correction, a realignment. A demonstration that authority isn't just conferred by title or seniority. It's earned. It's held. Sometimes it's taken back quietly, decisively. Months later, the clip still circulates. A go-to example in media training, in women's leadership seminars, in political science classes. How to handle condescension, the power of silence, speaking truth to power. Anya never references it directly, never uses it for fundraising, never gloats. She doesn't have to, the moment speaks for itself. Her colleagues treat her differently, not fear exactly, respect, a wary understanding. She proved she has a spine of steel beneath the calm exterior. She proved she won't be managed, manipulated, or minimized. Senator Thorne, he recovers mostly, holds his chairmanship, but something is diminished. The swagger is gone, replaced by a cautious, almost resentful formality. He avoids her in the hallways. Their paths rarely cross. When they do, there's a brief, awkward nod, nothing more. He knows she knows, everyone knows. Anya continues her work, focusing on substance, on the people who sent her there, on the philosophy behind the laws. She still speaks quietly, still uses silence strategically, still meets condescension with calm, direct truth. It wasn't a comeback, she was never down. It was an arrival, announced not with a shout, but with a silence that echoed louder than any gavel. The cheering wasn't just in the gallery that day, it rippled outwards, online, offline. A collective exhale, a surge of recognition. Finally, someone said it, someone did it. Quietly, powerfully, unforgettably. The work continues, the fights continue. But something fundamental shifted in that room. A reminder that true power isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just a steady gaze, a long pause. And the simple, unwavering refusal to be dismissed. The resonance remains, long after the hashtags fade.